BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. So I thought, go on then, we'll make another video on XRP, shall we? We'll just make another one, alright? Seems to be going well for the channel. People seem to like to watch it, and to be fair, I'm not making it for no reason. There's plenty of reasons to talk about XRP, and it's not just because people like to watch the videos. There's something going on here, alright? There is something going on here. So, a video I made, 2 days ago? It probably was, actually. It might have been just yesterday. I can't remember, in fact, now, making videos and stuff. I was saying, look, what is a setup here is this golden cross, which is often an opportunity to get dumped into. I was not predicting that the market was going to dump in such an amazing fashion. It was... well, I suppose good timing, coincidental. I knew that, I didn't know, no one knows, that's the wrong word. I had a suspicion that the market was getting ready for another pullback, given the size of this little wick that we had over here. So, you know, it felt like the structure for Bitcoin at least was beginning to show certain cracks on the daily. The fact that we basically, for the most part, don't bother touching any moving averages whatsoever, and then we started to see some movement down on the charts for Bitcoin. This one was the telling sign for me. This one here. So a bit of a. It wasn't massive, was it? It wasn't massive, but it was out of character for Bitcoin, out of recent character. We went on to retest, basically match the previous all-time high, and then from there, chaos across the board. Catastrophic, horrendous move of around about 14%. My targets on Bitcoin were between 10 and 13%, and it was surpassed by 14%. Who would have thought it? So we got that. That happened. We are all aware of that now. And although I called it, I also was, kind of suspicious that my bold prediction of XRP hitting that golden cross was actually going to happen. I was getting a lot of DMs about it, I can tell you that much. People on Telegram, lots of them saying, is this going to happen? Is this going to happen? Shall I actually sell now and buy? I was like, whoa. I'm not your financial advisor. I can't tell you what to buy, when to buy, and when to sell. That is not my job. In fact, pretty sure I'm not allowed to do that by law. So absolutely that was not the case. But obviously that doesn't stop the DMs coming through. So long story short, we actually managed to retest that golden cross and sliced right through it. But then we bounced from it as the market bounced. There was a serious bounce across the board. Even for XRP, it was a big bounce. Lots of bounces. We managed to close up 10%, more or less. Retest the 20 moving average. So a Bollinger Band on the daily. Excellent place to get a retest from, I have to say. This chart loves to respect moving averages, apart from when it dumps horrendously like this. The reason XRP does this, by the way, more than any other coin, well, I say more than any coin, as much as like your lower end coins, why is it so wicky? My best guess is that it's used as collateral across derivative platforms. Bybit, it's always been there, huge volume. There's plenty of others. I use BYDFi. They have the same facility, so you can use XRP as collateral in a futures trade, which basically means if you get liquidated, XRP gets seriously liquidated. So that is most likely the reason you see these super wicks down. And up as well, I suppose, which is why we're still relatively excited about the short-term future and direction of XRP, because the same component applies to the upside, and people love to short it. It's just it's a good short. It's a good coin to short. In all fairness, obviously, given the size of these moves, look at that one. Another one over here. That one over here. It's wicky all over the place. There is derivatives all over this chart. You can just see it. It looks like a low volume, low liquidity kind of chart, really, given the spikes. You can normally tell that something trades for low volume when you see the spikes up and down, the wicks all over the place. It's because the buying and selling is small in comparison to the price. So you just get a very wicky chart. But that's not the case for XRP. XRP trades huge volume, even just on a boring day. So it's a derivative type vibe, and the fact that XRP is used to collateral. So anyway, What we're looking at now, very simply, is a retest of the 20 moving average after the golden cross retest. And now what we should really be looking for is a move back up, a V-shaped recovery, which is the video description that I said before this dump. In fact, I prescribed it in the thumbnail. You should never judge a video by its thumbnail, but if you were to judge that video on the thumbnail, it basically said exactly what the video was about, which is we're going to dump, we're going to V-shaped recovery, and then we're going to pump. It was something along those lines. It's basically what I'm expecting. So at the moment it's still quite good, but we're pushing this resistance roughly around 61 cents. It is a big deal actually. 61 cents. We've stuck around this area for support for a long time. If you zoom this out even further, you'll see that there was a bit of a problem for the bears around here, and then when they finally got control of the chart, they just absolutely demolished it. So we shouldn't get complacent around this area. This area is a big deal. This 61 cent is a big deal. But when you're talking about moving averages, it's a different story altogether. Moving averages, we're basically above most of them on the daily. Ideally, we want to see a closure, even at this level, at the resistance. It makes this more likely to burst through into the next portion, which is between 61 cents, 67 cents, basically. All right, let's turn our attention over to the 4 hourly, where again there was a golden cross, there was a retest of these simples and exponentials, and now we're moving up. And what we're getting rejection from the 10 exponential, which is pointing down. So we're looking for a battle again. 61 cents, 10 exponential, 20 exponential, 21 exponential, and 20 simple. Once you've managed to reclaim this, I think it's back up and the V-shaped recovery, and actually this will lead into the big move. And the big move can be shown via the weekly, which really puts it into perspective. And again, the weekly is still looking good as well. We're above all moving averages. This is what, Wednesday now? So, far away from a weekly closure, but another closure above this 20 weekly is good. We closed quite convincingly above there last week. This is currently working on what looks like a spinning top, but could quite easily close in the green anyway, given enough time. We've got plenty of days left before this weekly closes. So let's have a look at momentum. We are turning up on the weekly. This is a really good sign as well. Something that I would expect to see a big bold move from. So crossing up above the 0 point is good on any time frame, but above a weekly is even more special. So we've been positive since a negative cross down here. So positive crosses are always good. Above a 0 point, even better. Last time we saw a positive cross above the 0 point on the weekly was leading into this move here. Push all the way up. Now obviously we see the reds, but the peak was over here, so we had 1, 2, 3 histogram ticks before a peak. Roughly you could measure it, or you should really measure it from here, and that gave us a 33% move. You're all going to complain about that. This is not the big XRP move. This is the mountain and the molehill that XRP likes to print before a big move. The mountain and the molehill. We see it loads of times. Mountain, molehill, bush. This is only Binance's charts. We don't have a huge history, but the mountain and the molehill is a real thing for XRP. So we're working on a green histogram tick, which should lead into a couple of weeks of pump, which really should lead into the next big move, which takes us up to like 122 really. Right, now we're going to do something really crazy, absolutely bonkers. We're going to look at XRP to Bitcoin pair to see if there's any signs of life on this chart. Prepare yourself. Oh my god, this is wrecked city. It's wrecked city, but hang on a minute. Amongst wrecked city, can we salvage anything? Is there any survivors in wrecked city? There is. Looking just at the simple RSI, we've got low, higher low, higher low. That corresponds to a low and a lower low and a lower low again. So this is bullish divergence on a daily, looking really good. Same thing with the money flow index. You know, 3 drives is normally all it takes. We can edge down a little lower than this. We can still go down further, and I expect we will, because I do anticipate that Bitcoin makes its way above the all-time high and then into the lower 70s. So that wouldn't be unreasonable to see this make a new lower low on price action. But given the size of the RSI up here, considering the previous lows down here, it's not impossible, but it seems unlikely that we'll form that we'll break away from this 3 drives of bullish divergence. And that's just on the daily. Take it to a weekly. Any signs of life? Nah, nothing like that. No signs of life. But what we do have is a pretty oversold RSI. I don't really like that term, oversold RSI. Generally doesn't mean anything. If anything, the oversold RSI is just the beginning of what could be giant bullish divergence. But last time we were down at these lower levels was over here, and what happened over here? We did have a nice rally. We can focus on it. I mean, I say a nice rally. We basically scraped out some kind of lows. They weren't significant, they weren't massive, but they were roughly lows, and you saw an increase of 50% versus the Bitcoin pair. So you wouldn't complain with that if that ended up happening to you. If you put 1 Bitcoin into this chart basically now, and you ended up with 1.5 Bitcoin, I'd be surprised if anyone actually complained about that, But you don't know, in this world of crypto, people are so greedy and degenerate that 50% is, I wouldn't get out of bed for a 50%. Half a Bitcoin, what are you talking about? I'm going back to sleep. So that's the sort of, that is the sort of thing that you will hear, or I expect to hear, when I talk about a 50% gain on a crypto. Yeah, 50%, that's disgusting. Never going to do. Nah, forget it. Nah, good night. So, I mean, each to their own, but I think with the 3 drives of bullish divergence on the daily, coming down to that seriously low level on the RSI on the weekly, we've got bullish divergence on the daily for the money flow index also. So look at the let's have a look at the 4 hourly. So we did get 2 drives of bullish divergence with a decent move. We are still working on a third as well. In fact, we've confirmed a third actually. So there is 3 drives of bullish divergence on the 4 hourly. So this does look. It does look good, right? It's not bad. It's definitely not bad. And I appreciate that the market is full of risk, tons of risk out there right now. I mean, it doesn't matter where you look, there's risk all over the place, but just like all charts, they're going to keep going up until they stop. And even though Bitcoin did have a nice pullback and all the rest of the markets pulled back at the same time, we're looking at the S&P now. It's basically trying to reclaim some of those losses. It's not been too bad. S&P is not bad at all. The Nasdaq is up 1% today, still off its all-time high, which we saw the chaos move yesterday, wasn't it? Really. So yeah, there has been some reclaiming of lost areas. It hasn't continued into today, which is good. We've got the Bitcoin dominance looking like a rejection on the 4 hourly here as well, so that looks like it wants to keep going down, which is good for altcoins. Ethereum is very strong as well, we should mention. If we start to break down below 53.6%, then this would look to come back down, not just down to the bottom of the triangle, but to retest this 200 exponential back down at 52. These are small moves, I understand that, but when you're talking about a Bitcoin which is absolutely demolishing the market for the most part, any move is good if we can expect it. And we are getting a bounce on this Bollinger Band Center right now, but we'll see where we go. I do expect Bitcoin to continue on, so to see a bounce from here that takes us up to new highs on the dominance chart, we shouldn't also be surprised at that. It's neither here nor there. It's a bit willy-nilly. The 4 hourly is bearish, the daily's bullish, so we'll give credit to the daily over the 4 hourly in all fairness. So long story short, back on our focus over here for XRP. Currently, surprisingly, and against all the odds, XRP has managed to retest the golden cross, bounce from it, and so in standard practice we should be expecting, as statistically more likely to happen, a V-shaped recovery which takes us to at least the candle body highs into the mid-60s. Then if we continue from there, then we are actually looking for a big breakout. So like I say, each to their own. Whatever you want to do is your call. It's nothing to do with me. I'm just reiterating a video and a continuation of what I said when I was saying we're going to dump, we're going to find support, we're going to V-shaped recovery, and then a breakout. And at the moment it might not feel like that, but remember, you've got to try and imagine what the charts are going to look like tomorrow, next week, next month. This is how you make the money. So we managed to get the dump, we managed to get what appears to be the support, should we say. We're working on the V-shaped recovery, and then hopefully we get the breakout. Recognize my optimistic approach to this chart. I'm not saying this is a done deal and it's definitely going to work. We are likely to see Bitcoin move up, which might leave altcoins behind. It also leaves them vulnerable to another pullback from Bitcoin. So you've got to recognize all of that. It's not just XRP that's moving isolated from the rest of the world. XRP is very much tied into crypto as a whole. We've got Bitcoin, obviously Ethereum, and then we've got Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones Industrial Average. We've got the Dixie, which surprisingly is actually downtrending too. So it's not a done deal. There is no guarantees, which I'm sure, or I hope you would understand. I watched a guy on YouTube. He said that there's going to be a dump, a support, a bounce, a V-shaped recovery, and a breakout. So I'm all in. Well, yeah, that's how it looked at the time. It still looks a little bit like that now, but does that mean that that's the way it's going to go? Well, on its own merit, yes, but we know that this chart will be influenced by outside forces, basically other charts, and so we can't put all our eggs in one basket. But you know, that is it. So overall, you know, more than optimistic. There's signs of life on the chart, absolutely, even on the XRP to Bitcoin chart. So let's not dismiss what we can see with our own eyes, which is something that we speculated on and now is playing out in real time. So let's just think about that for what it is. It's not nothing. It's working out exactly as expected. I only say that because Carl from the Moon says that, and I'm taking the piss. I don't say it because I'm being arrogant. I try to put it out there that these charts, these trades are my trades. I'm not shilling anything. I'm not doing anything crazy. But yeah. It is working exactly as expected, so how else would you rephrase that? Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I've got a lot of catching up to do. There's loads of other channels out there a hell of a lot worse than mine, and for some reason they're more popular. I don't know how to catch up with that. I don't know what it is that I need to do, but you know, I suppose it's all on you to subscribe if you're not already. Anyway, I hope you have a nice day, and take it easy.